The Urals, a Russian region at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, 2,000 kilometers from Moscow. Many see it as a territory of enigmas and unsolved mysteries. It's known as Russia's Twilight Zone. Each year, thousands of UFO hunters and scores of scientists come here to take a closer look at unexplained phenomena. But what can explain the frequent occurrence of paranormal activity in this region? What are these UFOs, and where, exactly, are they coming from? Arkaim is one of the paranormal hotspots in the southern Urals. This is where Russian psychics, astrologers and clairvoyants congregate. Each evening, some visitors to Arkaim perform magic rituals symbolizing human reincarnation. The people sitting by the campfire are supposed to throw their old clothes into the flames.
Cast all your fears, aggression and ailments onto these things and throw them into the fire.
Irina Ivanova has traveled hundreds of kilometers and gone a night without sleep, all for the sake of a visit to Arkaim. She regards herself as an expert psychic with years of experience and comes here every year with several of her followers to take in what she calls the special energy of the area.
This is known as the place of strength. People come here to communicate with their forefathers, with their ancestors. They draw strength from roots they never knew they had. They get something totally unexpected.
Arkaim has an unusual history. Many scientists agree that what is now a mere meadow in the hills was once the site of some urbanized capital city, the heart of an ancient civilization. Arkaim is estimated to be as old as the Egyptian pyramids. Local scientist Dr. Gennady Zdanoevich is credited with the discovery of Arkaim. In 1987, he identified the outline of the ancient town behind the hills.
Watch out!
Today, only its circular outline remains, but it can be seen from a bird's-eye view. Arkaim was laid out in the form of a circle. If you look from above, you can see there are two overlapping rings. Scientists believe that the city was built as a reconstruction of the universe.
The walls had been preserved here, and here you can see the inside wall, where the light grass is. It's a defensive wall, and here you can see a hopper-shaped hollow, but it's a fake. Enemies were enticed into the walls and pelted with stones and tar.
4,000 years ago, people moved to the area, building thick walls, mysterious towns, and solar observatories. Little is left of Arkaim. Its tall walls and towers were destroyed a long time ago, and the town was ruined by fires, floods, winds, and time itself.
Guys, look here. It's a pot. And it's a cross at the bottom.
Archaeologists have since uncovered casting molds, blacksmith tools, and intricate works of bronze and ceramic. Archaeological digs have shown that the ancient town was inhabited by the forebears of the Aryan race.
Those ancient Aryans were credited with everything on Earth. They were even said to have discovered metals.
Yekaterinburg, capital of the Urals region. It's a major industrial and financial center. With all the office buildings, traffic jams and crowded sidewalks, it seems an unlikely place for something mystical.
Hello.
Hello.
Andrei Yubushkin is a logistics manager for a transport company. But his hobby is about as far from the field of transportation as it can be. Motion is probably the only similarity. Andrei studies unidentified flying objects. His hobby takes him to every corner of the region. Now he and his friend Dmitry are about to set out for the village of Malyobka. This small town is 300 kilometers from Yekaterinburg and nearly 2,000 kilometers from Moscow. It entered the national spotlight back in the late 1980s. It was then that Emil Bachurin, one of the villagers, sent a letter to a Moscow newspaper recounting his contacts with extraterrestrials. Several years later, he died in a fire, but his stories remain on record in a documentary.
All of them look like humans. Some are just like you and me. Others are oversized giants, 4 or 5 meters tall, and they fly through the air.
UFO enthusiasts claim that there is almost daily contact between humans and travelers from extraterrestrial civilizations. The number of people wishing to communicate with aliens is constantly growing, and the locals make a fast buck out of people's desire to see something that defies scientific explanation. For instance, Victor gets 50 rubles, less than $2 for ferrying people across the river.
Okay, there we go.
The mysterious site where genuine UFOs can supposedly be seen is known by locals as the Zone. It cannot be reached by car. From the village, visitors go by boat, then travel on foot for 8 kilometers. Amateur UFO seekers and tourists camp out close to the so-called Astral Meadow, a reference to one of the Zone's centers. These men first came here in 2004.
Once I saw something interesting, but I don't want to talk about it.
What did it look like?
A sphere.
Andrei and Dmitry from Yekaterinburg study peculiar phenomena. They say that several years ago, they too saw something like a fiery sphere near Malyobka. They didn't manage to capture any shots of that particular UFO, but they have scores of pictures where glowing spheres are easily discernible.
Here it is. Look at it.
Sightings of glowing spheres are said to be quite common. According to UFO researchers, mirages, time aberrations, flying saucers, and of course, aliens are also on record here. Another tourist encampment is just a kilometer away. UFO tracker Andrei Lyubushkin welcomes his colleagues from the city of Perm. These young men came by boat. They're spending their holiday in tents beside the campfire at the edge of the woods, far away from city streets and office buildings. They waste no time getting to their story about the fiery sphere.
Was it a sphere, you said?
Yes, a silver sphere.
How long was it there for? How did it show up and disappear?
We saw it on a hillside, about 50 meters away. As we moved closer, and the distance between us was about 20 meters, it vanished into thin air, just like this.
Andrei and Dmitry are concerned only with the facts or documentary evidence supporting them. But hardly any of the stories can be verified.
The zone treats visitors differently and shows them different things. What I've seen there makes me think that the place is well suited for me.
Tourists coming to Arkaim sometimes see inexplicable phenomena too. A photographer from Kazakhstan called Radik was going to produce a collection featuring the picturesque Urals landscape for an exhibition. But his concept changed after he spotted a peculiar energy flow in one of the pictures. He says he saw a white cloud which looked like a human figure. Copies of the picture are now in great demand in Arkaim.
The spirit of Arkaim.
Very beautiful. So nice, looks like wings.
Right. Somebody has even detected a human face.
The picture was taken near this hill. It's popularly known as Mount Penance. Nikolai Silivanov, a pensioner, comes here every year. Initially, he brought his children. The newcomers are his grandchildren. Nikolai says Arkaim gives him new strength.
I feel the place creates an aura around me. I also feel relaxed here, like my soul is at peace with me.
Arkaim has also changed this man's life. Oleg used to be the senior manager at a Moscow subsidiary of a major US corporation. Now he's taken the name Mustafa Ibrahim, and he breeds rabbits in a local village. Today he leads a reclusive life. Being a round-the-clock consultant is a thing of the past. His main concern now is to find food for his rabbits.
If I feed them only grass, the little rabbits will eat 2 sacks a day.
Mustafa says that when he felt the powerful effect of the energy coming from these places, he quit his job and sold his Moscow apartment. He then bought this village hut, a few kilometers from Arkaim, a place surrounded by legend. He was used to talking with people all day long, but now his companions are only dogs and rabbits.
Hey, shut up! These are my rabbits. When I'm going to feed them, they line up like this. First there's 5 white, then 1 red, then 4 black, and 2 gray at the end. It's so beautiful.
There are only 200 households in the village of Put-Oktabria. Its nearest city is Magnitogorsk, but that's 150 kilometers away. In Soviet times, locals made their living on a collective farm. Well, now they have to make money elsewhere. Mustafa's neighbors are pensioners. They deliver milk to Arkaim.
We live off our cattle. He runs a hotel business, and that's how he makes a living. There is nothing unusual in that.
Mustafa regularly visits Arkaim, but more often than not, he helps people prepare before they go to the site of the ancient town. His house has been functioning as a mini hotel. The previous owner had decorated the guest rooms himself, in an Oriental style.
These plates are simple enough. They have only some quotes from the Quran on them. Old people living in the East used to read these verses over their food before they began each meal. They believe this will make the food healthier.
There are always visitors to Mustafa's house. More and more people come to this area of an ancient civilization, and many keep coming back.
I'd say they're driven by a spiritual vacuum in their hearts. They're keen to have it filled with something. In that sense, many are not very comfortable with religions. They want to find something different.
Mustafa expects another group of visitors at his house tonight, because mystery forever attracts people to the Urals.